Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. It is Icon. Thank you so much for checking out another episode of Esports Analysis. Today, we are hopping on board with Formal as he and the Chicago Huntsmen go to battle against Dallas. We uploaded a Dallas video yesterday, and just if you missed it, it was super close, as was this entire scrim. Chicago did end up winning the Hardpoints 3 maps to 2. Although the maps that they kind of lost by a lot. Like the Azir Cave, they lost 250 to like 125, something like that. It was a pretty bad loss. But other than that, most of the games were pretty close. So in this one, we're on board with Formal just because he does a really nice job of locking down spawns, kind of as he's doing right now. Obviously, we are on the first hill, but as it's about to rotate from P1 to P2, you want to have these back construction spawns. So he's really just watching the push through mid and the push through dirt, just so that they don't get behind them, because if they overtake those construction spawns, then Dallas would have spawns for back P2, and we all know that when it comes to like P2, that's one of the easier hills to hold if you get your enemies spawning over towards ammo. But because this scrim is kind of intense, it's the first time that we've seen them scrim Dallas in quite a few months. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to turn up the volume and let you guys listen into the team comms. Of course, I'm still going to go ahead and call out everything that I see and break down all of those important moves around the map. But without further ado, let's go ahead, let's listen into Formal and Chicago's team comms.
Weekend, week. Oh, fuck. There's two, stay in.
One more there, Clay. You going bathroom, and one's behind the bar. One's bathroom, one's behind the bar. I spawned out.
Yeah, bathroom.
That's fine.
I'm dead. Bar weak.
Go front now.
You gotta go. Someone's gotta take a long route there and get back bathrooms.
Alright, yeah,
I'm
spawn back. They spawn back.
Mini hold. No, he's already in. He's going. He's just pre-aiming your back. Pre-aiming his back.
I have your middle. Bill?
Wait,
I'm helping left, I'm helping left. Yeah, you guys hold middle.
Two ammo right now.
It's not seeing ammo.
In the alley, ran away, Kyler.
One rugs at me.
Kyler's going ammo.
Top,
Top
ammo weak.
Chelsea dead. One more bottom. Kyler's at the truck. At the truck weak.
Time. You yeah, you're by yourself, Bill.
I spawned here. I'm gonna go to. You're on heading.
I'm backing up now.
Just as we go ahead and we listen in here, few things to notice. First of all, Illy is using an AUG. Arcides and Formal are both using the M4. Now, most people are still using the MP5. You've seen it on different levels, so like different maps. You've started to see, especially from Chicago, you've seen like 3 ARs, 1 Uzi, and 1 MP5, with Scum being the lone MP5. So it is interesting to watch the kill feed and see what's happening over there and just see which guns people are using. Huke is also using the AUG. So I know Illy's been tweeting out a bunch of pictures about using the AUG and stuff like that. But it seems like the meta is still up in the air a little bit, and it largely depends on what map you're playing too. Just want to make sure that we were pointing out just kind of the differences in what you were seeing over in the kill feed from now compared to like a week and a half ago before the pre-patch.
They all spawn there. They all just spawn there.
We got 4 dead. Probably last guy back there.
All good. Let's get rugs control together, guys.
If I just don't kill the guy at all that.
Powder cat, dude. He's top rugs, Kyler.
I can help you, rugs. Hang on.
Got shit onto this first bar.
Pushing, Kyler dead. I need help, rugs.
I got shit on purpose.
Stun rugs. Sun paint.
Yeah, paint hurt.
Paint and Zig.
Zig dead.
Crim weak and hill. He's back.
Go paint.
Hey, wow.
Paint.
Scammered the fuck out of me. I killed Zig.
Need help, guys. Paint. One shot, Shotzi.
I'm front door hill.
Shotzi's paint. He's running away.
Got me front door hill. One shot.
Zig again dead.
Paint got me again.
Two.
Paint dead. I got
Nice. One rotated for sure. One's gonna be plat,
Coming
probably.
your back door.
He's
Front door.
Yeah, two front door.
Just pre-fired me.
Shit.
Yeah.
Illy just push out front. Illy's front curve. One more front old, Clay.
Oh,
There's only two anew.
He pushed it. They pushed it.
One more new. I'm coming to help you, Alex.
Back alley.
Full health.
Got him at old.
Yo, ladder.
Probably look ladder with you.
Ladder weak.
Yo, alley, push me, Illy.
In smoke. There's two.
He's in the back door. I killed
We spawned there.
Team kill. I spawned there.
No,
I'm pushing on back barber, guys. Push out the back. They're gonna be there. They're on your back.
He's shooting me in the back.
Barber dead.
Good job. I have your help in the back now.
Yo, he's
I fucked him. I smoke.
Back pillar. Nice.
Right, he's gonna be back alley.
Alley hurt.
Play dead. One more on the heady. I need help.
Yep, that's
No
three.
one front. Wall.
Wall, Illy dead.
I got the alley.
Nice shots there from Formal.
Spawn deep.
You front.
Bottom mid hurt.
I'm up in bottom middle.
Allowing.
And rugs.
Top window, top window. Oh, fuck.
I have time.
He's too front head, he's too front
I
head.
need help. I need help. I need help. I need help. Tyler's big front. Another one front. Another one
Try
front.
to get out, right, maybe?
He's too weak.
Dead, dead, dead.
Right side hill. Right side front. 2 hill. He's left side now. Left side. Close left.
Got me. Yeah, left side. 2 there.
Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out.
Let's go, go, go.
Get out.
Grenading over.
I'm going C3, Alec. I'm going C3, Alec. I want C3.
Ladder, dead.
Hey, Zig, being matter construction.
Oh my, stop right
So
there.
overall, if we just kind of break down the first set of rotations that we saw right there, it was really just kind of as basic as it could be, right? As the map flip-flopped from one side to the other, these two teams really just took turns controlling whatever side of the map that they started on. Like P5 there, Chicago was able to control P5, but that's the spawn that they had. And then P4, Dallas was able to control P4 because, again, that's the spawn that they had. Now, Chicago has built up like a little bit of a lead, maybe 25 points or so, but that's just because as they rotated from P5 to P1, they were able to grab that rotation and they've been able to get the first few seconds inside of P1. But now Dallas is in there and they're starting to come back a little bit. But the thing to remember is that as it rotates back to P2, Chicago has those spawns for P2. So we should see this continue pretty much the same. There's 13 seconds left in P1. Although it does look like they're getting pushed out the back. That's a big 2-piece from Formal. He doesn't quite have any help. We'll see who ends up winning these spawns. My guess is that he's probably going to spawn ammo. Yeah, he did spawn out towards ammo. So they do have to get those kills back P2. So we'll see what happens here as this continues through P2 on the second set of rotations.
Back dead.
Bottom mid,
I have
absolutely.
your help, I have your help.
I spawn far because I'm going to kill Shotzi.
Got
2 of
stunned,
them
bro.
behind the counter. They just both popped up.
I don't know where he went.
Kyler dead front.
Nice one.
One
I don't know.
shot.
I needed half full.
You flash
Help
me.
a second, hang
Top
on.
mid or something.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead. Let's break that down real quick just so that we're all clear kind of what happened there. So as we bring up the mini map, Formal was holding down this back construction spawn. We saw that Dallas took over P1, so that kind of forced Formal towards rotating towards P2 so that he could stop anybody from Dallas that might have been rotating through middle. So as Dallas had these spawns and they were pushing up through middle, he was able to get a 2-piece, but since there was nobody else there to help them, essentially Dallas just pushed through over here towards back construction, and as soon as they got there, that took Chicago and that spawned Formal out on this side of the map. So now you're seeing them down by like 30 points. It's 143 to 173, but they will have spawns for P3. So in order for Chicago to win, they are going to have to get a couple of these hills back to back, right? They'll have to get P3 and then either flip out in P4 or contest in P4 and hold P5. So moving forward, you do have to string together a couple of these hills, especially if you're down by about 30. So if you're Chicago, you really did have to hold on to the back spawn over here, but it shouldn't be the end of the world, though. They should be able to hold on or at least string together a couple hills here as we start moving forward.
Oh, the chow. I'm chowing.
Looking bathroom.
Oh, God, dude.
Fine.
Not
Looking
chowing.
bathroom.
In the smoke.
Side
Kill
door,
him.
absolutely.
Two side door, guys. We're gonna spawn out.
We spawn for good.
One's out, one's out.
One shot.
I gotta back up. Who was it? Who was it out?
Cute.
Back up. Everyone back up.
They're hitting up front, guys. They're hitting up front.
Copy dead.
Nice. They're hitting up front still. They're hitting up front. So careful. Clay's there. Clay's there. Clay's there.
They can
No,
be pillars.
One is definitely back there.
I hit old.
Yo, top loading. Top loading. Top loading. Top loading.
Yep, looking at, he's
I'll
looking
kill
dark.
ammo. I'll kill ammo.
I'm holding
I'm
it.
not chowing, I'm not chowing.
I'm leaving him.
Yeah, I needed
He
up
went
there.
down. He went down.
I didn't hit anything.
Nothing
He went
rugs
alley.
us.
Grim alley.
Yo, one cat slide dead. One more cat. Illy. Inner cat going rugs. Inner cat going rugs.
That's
Yeah, you
hello,
got me.
guys, rugs, guys.
Two rugs. Yeah, I'm coming up you. I'm coming up you. Hang on.
About to hit my tree, guys.
I'm flooding.
Top mid, Illy.
I'm dead, bros.
Yeah, plat, Illy dead.
Good job, guys.
More tree door thing.
I'm blocking left. I'm blocking left.
Bottom mid Kyler.
I gave up left.
Yo, Crim is
How about
bottom
it,
mid,
Ed?
one bullet. He's like a tractor.
He's tractor.
So this is a little bit of a different break, and I don't really love it all that much. So as we know, towards the end of P2, Dallas was getting this back construction spawn. So as they left, we saw Formal kill one, and then he ended up falling as they were trying to cross P1, cross bridge, going over towards P3. And I don't love this approach because it's really hard to flip out spawns from here. Even if you push the top side of the map and you get all the way out here by tree door or front P3, that's still going to leave Chicago with this back P3 spawn. They're still going to be spawning here. So the way that I like to leave P2, and this is what you've seen from Chicago quite a bit on this map if they have control of P2, is just flood everybody through ruins through P5 over here. And if you can get a couple kills, 1 or 2 kills, whoever's coming up off of spawn, then you can push out this back P3 area. You get inside, and now spawns have flipped. So I just don't love this approach. I understand that Dallas was spawning up here, but it doesn't take that much more time to just hit this hop right here and then everybody flood the bottom of the map together. So that's probably why they're struggling a little bit to break this initial setup here, just because there's not a lot of potential gun battles that you can win coming from the top side of the map. And even if you do win them, it's really hard to push out that back spawn.
Go tractor for me.
We're looking for Crim.
Nice
Nice
job.
job.
Top rugs in a second. Nice. Top rugs probably. Top rugs probably.
I'm trying to open right. I'm trying to open left.
Yeah, top rugs. On you guys.
Open left swans.
Bottom mid, more bottom middle, bottom mid lane on me.
Can't see.
I think this
One
one's
left.
gonna be top mid on us.
Front
Still.
door, front door.
Tractor
Top
dead.
mid.
Front door dead. Nice.
Other one middle.
You kill that guy
mid.
for me?
Yeah, I killed this guy
There's
front.
two here.
I spawned out.
Down. One jump down. There's two
I'm
top
trying to get
plat. Two
across,
top
bro.
plat. One's bottom rugs.
I'm just saying no,
You're
no
good.
guys.
Oh,
And
chateaus.
feet.
What the fuck, dude?
I'm
You
one
know?
shot top rugs, bros, and one's top
He
academy.
sandbag.
Just stay alive. We can. We're punching back.
Fine, dude.
Here, you Preston.
Kyler, one shot behind you. Kyler, one shot behind you. Clay's
There's
top
another
plat. Clay's top plat behind you. You can shoot.
Top left dead.
Yeah, I'm gonna play for rugs. I'm gonna play for rugs. I'm gonna play for rugs.
Yeah. I'm going
Go,
feet.
go,
That's
go,
three.
go.
That's three. They're spawning on
Nice, I
P2.
can up
Spawning on
rugs.
P2, guys.
Oh, he's backed up on you. Backed up on you.
Oh, he got me.
Oh, fuck me, dude.
I didn't see him.
I went
I'm
left.
holding rugs. I'm holding rugs,
Zig,
guys.
one time.
Morning.
Dead.
Paint alley.
Sandbag,
Come on,
sandbag,
nice.
Kyler, bottom door.
Sandbag.
Kyler,
Yeah,
bottom
sandbag
door.
scrim. One shot sandbags. One shot sandbags.
Okay,
Yeah,
Zig,
to know.
Paint.
Paint's gonna kill me. Paint's gonna kill me.
Paint door.
Paint's gonna kill me, guys. Need help. Paint weak clay.
Top plat. Dude.
Last gonna kill me. Damn it.
Flag.
I need to put that plat.
Nice. Good job. One more front row.
Front door,
On L. 2 on L.
Hey,
2 on
top
L.
Zig 2, Zig 2.
I spawned
Zig,
your
dirt.
Zig,
Yes,
Zig.
I'm
Spawned
There's
this.
dirt
I'm
door.
spawned
Use
this.
dirt door. I spawned in the back.
Go more here.
Front door two.
I think
Trying to
front.
go
Paint on me,
sandbags.
paint on me.
Plat, one's plat.
Trying to watch paint steps, guys. You could go zig. Two
What's the
paint.
Dude.
Hit this one more time.
Alright, they can't one off that.
One's old, one's new.
Yeah, I'm going front of new. I'm
Okay.
going front of new.
Paint hurt.
I'm going front. Come
Yeah,
front with me. Come front with me. Come front with me. We gotta
I
rotate,
think
guys.
we
We
should
gotta
go
rotate.
back.
He's top plat, guys, top plat.
Whoever's front,
He's
I'm
top
helping
plat.
you.
Right
I got one and new.
Kyler peeked it. I
Top
spawned
plat,
front.
Top
I spawned
plat
front.
weak, he's ladder or window.
Now we're hitting front.
Paint back alley.
Yeah, there's
Window?
one top plat,
We're
one top
spawning,
right.
front.
Windows on
Main
peeking.
top
Windows on
window,
peeking.
top window,
Window.
top window.
Dead.
Dead.
Nice, there's another top plat, it was Ilya.
Challenge it.
Plat hurt.
There's
Right in
two,
time.
there's two.
Two plat.
One window. I got one.
More window.
I got both
Nice,
windows.
Nice, good
Bottom
job.
of the back.
Bottom mid behind you. Nice.
Come to hill. Fuck,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can't.
I have time. I
Yo,
have time.
front the
Ammo,
lane.
ammo. Dead.
Nice. I'm helping the back.
Help the back, help the back.
Yeah,
Holding
I'm
far front,
bottom
I'm holding
ladder.
far
I'm bottom
front.
ladder right now.
Top window,
About to be in the
I
back.
died from top window, bro.
Top rugs.
Ahead of you again.
Bouncy dead.
the
More
head
bottom
in
mid probably.
Nice.
Yo,
Front,
top
front,
rugs.
go back, go back.
Top rugs scrim weak and one's ladder.
Go
Yeah,
back.
two
Go
ladder
back.
and rugs.
I spawned front.
I go in pillars.
Everyone front?
Everyone
Wow, back door.
I'm
back
trying
door.
to.
Hey to the back. No one, bottom mid,
Two more
bottom mid pinch.
I gave up bottom mid pitch. I gave it nice. I'm looking
I'll
for
kill him.
a dead minute.
One shot.
Back.
Bottom mid.
Nice.
Clay was
You
really
wanna
back
good
door,
shot.
I'm laying in smoke. I'm pushing up.
Too.
Oh, I fucking
Yeah.
hate.
Back right, Clay.
Pinch, dead.
And pinch.
Most pillars.
Went off that. Push it out. Go fast.
Pillars, scrim.
Nice, good
Get
up.
up.
They're gonna
Keep
contest.
pushing, you
You
gotta
Yeah.
keep pushing, you gotta keep pushing.
Nice, good job.
Wow.
Come back.
So that was a super impressive win there towards the end, just because as it rotated to P4 on that second set of rotations, they were actually able to push into P4. And with about 25 seconds left, they were able to flip. Then Illy got a 3-piece, and then Dallas took over P4. But as it rotated to P5, they didn't have initial spawns over there, so they were able to push it out, regain. They actually never regained the back spawns, but they were just able to slay out in arches in that area of the map as Dallas was trying to push from the top side of the map. And they were able to just squeak out a win. Had they been contested for like 2 more seconds and it went back to P1, they might have ended up losing because they were spawning towards ammo and they didn't have those top spawns by P1. But either way, they pulled it out in the end. Arstees was +4 with quite a bit of hill time. Formal 30 and 22. Really nice job from him, just securing kills, kind of like those last that garbage time, right? The 10-15 seconds that are left inside the hill. Multiple hills, he was able to get that clutch kill and secure those extra seconds there. Envoy -7, which is a little bit interesting to see. Pristini +1 and Scump +3. We look down below. Clayster was +3 with 27 and 24. Huke +1. Shotzi was even. Illy -8, which is, again, a little interesting to see him and Envoy being so negative, and then Crim was -5. So with that, if you guys are new around here, you enjoy this sort of content, I put out brand new videos every single day breaking down the Call of Duty League, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. Any comments on this one, put them down below. I love the interactions, reading your guys' comments and what you have to say. Leave a like before you head on the way. It really helps out the channel. With that, guys, thank you so much. I will catch you in tomorrow's upload.